temperature raging. All through my body spreading. Watch how my body sweating. It's temperature that I get, my muscles aching. Body feel dehydrated. Pupils annihilated. Large a cannibal fever.
You know, some boy, man, it's XL. Right now, you're locked into Carnival Fever on WTP 93.5. Ow!
It's your carnival baby T-I-Z-Z-Y Tizzy, and right now you're locked on to the Buzz 268 with CJ on 93.5 FM.
Here's the next big thing on radio. It's the Buzz 268 with CJ the Maestro on WTP 93.5, and I get your daily dose of music, views, reviews, interviews, and the latest happenings locally, regionally, and internationally. Tune in Monday to Fridays, 9:30 a.m. until. Listen to the next big thing on radio. It's finally here. The Buzz 268.
Some of them never know me. Some of them don't know me. Some of them keep for me. Every time the people jump in, some of them wanna whine for me. Some of them boogie down for me. Me love the way the ladies will whine for me. Everybody now, like a everybody, I like the way you do it, What did you say? All my ladies will whine on me. Like a see girls that I'm a boom boom guy, you there? All the ladies who run out there, move your body to the beat, yeah. Love me, need me. All my ladies, everybody, they want me. The sexy body girls, they need me. She said, love me, she want me, yeah, she want me. All my boom boom, everybody love me. Sexy body girls, everybody sanko. See the girl, them hear me sanko. People, them a feel me from the sanko. He don't care when I done they go. See the girl, them a want to they hear me sanko. I bust the stereo. See the people, them a feel feeling me like so. Anyway.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. What a beautiful day. Hey, I've got that beautiful feeling, but hey, everything's going to be going away. A blessed good morning to each and everyone out there. How you guys are doing? It is Thursday, Tegan Thursday. Blessings abound. How you guys are? Yes, I am still here. Me ain't gone nowhere. My voice getting on. It's not 100%. It is 89.9% so far. Yeah, 89.9% so far, right? Beautiful, that's what I'm talking about. Good morning. Welcome to the Buzz 268, right here on WTP 93.5 FM. I'm your host, your humble host, CJ, the Maestro of Love. Just bringing you good vibes, good music, entertaining, educated, informing, and most of all, inspiring. That's what I'm talking about. In the studio, that's this morning, we're going to be sitting and chatting with the man himself, Dr. Jerry said, my little brother. I'm going to be talking with him in just a minute, all right? But, before we do anything else, before we go anywhere else, before we say anything else, excuse me, I like to make sure I give a little daily quote and a little inspiration. Thanks to Miss Hayward, who normally every single day, religiously, she makes sure that she sends that for me every single day. And this one, no exception for today. It says, a blessed good morning to you, CJ. Grace and mercy and peace to you from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, the Bible verse goes a little something like this. It says here, therefore, brethren, having boldness to enter the holiness by the blood of Jesus, by a new and living way which he consecrated for us through the veil that is his flesh, and having a high priest over the house of God, let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience, and our bodies washed with pure water. Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who promised is faithful. That's Hebrews 10:19-23. Now the thought, it says here, God's free gift to us cost him dearly. God's free gift to us, listen, his free gift to us cost him dearly. You understand? Now the prayer goes like this. Father, thank you for your promise to walk with us through all of life. Father, in moments of doubt, help us to have the confidence you are in control and we can trust you. You got that? All right. Now, I have a daily quote here now. And my daily quote says here, listen to this one carefully. Don't rush things. When the time is right, it will happen. That's the first one. Now, I enjoy my daily quote so much because, I got up this morning around 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. I went outside, I sat on the steps outside. That's the first time I found all kind of critters and things crawling in and out the bush them. And if it was a scared man, I would have done reach back inside under the covers them long time. But you know how it is, right? And I look and I realize, when there's light around and there's darkness, sorry, and if you look at a dark spot and you take your time, you realize your eye automatically adjusts to see whatever is in the darkness. That your eye is like a searchlight. It searches out, unless it's a iguana, of course, they're going to conform to the same color, the surroundings. But it searches out inside that dark spot, inside the bush. And you can see movements, you can see shadows and stuff like that. Now, there are times when the eyes play tricks on you. That happened to me a time. When you think it's a man you're watching, next day when you go back in the day, you realize there's a stick that bend a kind of how, and it looked like a man with two hands hang out like this, and during the night it looked like a man for true. And they dancing, and you're curtain inside your bedroom, you swear there's a man coming close to your bedroom. But in the morning you realize that that's something totally different. So do not be afraid of the darkness. Do not be afraid of the darkness. For once this person walks with you, darkness is like light. You understand? And I had another daily quote that I sent out this morning, and it says here, don't be jealous with anyone. Don't compare with anyone. Just focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Don't be jealous with anyone. Don't compare with anyone. Just focus on becoming the best version of yourself. You got that? You got it? All right, that's what I'm talking about. And in the meantime, hey, I have a question I'm gonna ask Dr. Simon, and this is pertaining to the third world countries that we're dealing with right now. I think we're gonna have a little bit of a time to have the Honorable EP Chetwin come on and talk about it as well too. In the meantime, in between time, let's get a little bit of praise going on here, and sorry, and then we're gonna ask Dr. Simon about his daily thought, the thought of the day. We're going to ask him in just a moment. Stick up in right there. Don't go anywhere. You're in tune to the Buzz 268. Yes, my voice still a little is getting there. Thanks to Auntie Jean who give me all kind of concoction, all kind of lemon and lemon bitters and lime bitters and a little thing in a little cup named Cavi who? Cavi and Lear. Yeah. Yeah, she gave me that. I say, take a sip of that with some lemon, and trust me, gargle it. Oh boy, that felt good. You can hear me now?
Yes, I was asking if Cavi and Lear still around.
Yes, Cavi. Well, I usually call him Cavi, but some people call him Mr. Lear.
I thought Cavi and Lear were two people that divorced some time ago.
They got divorced?
I thought so.
Oh man. I wasn't privy to that information.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying what I was told.
Okay.
Maybe according to King Absent, I shouldn't repeat what I was told. I should mind my business.
God, and how are you doing this morning? Such a beautiful day, huh?
Yeah, it's good, man.
Beautiful. Now, you have a thought of the day?
Oh, yes, definitely. And I have something from the biblical theme as well.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 to 30. And I thought about this because I know a lot of people going through a lot of things, It says unto me, come unto me, all you who are labored and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart, and you will find rest for yourselves. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light.
Ah.
Now, a yoke might sound like a strange picture, CJ.
Mm-hmm.
In Jesus' day, a yoke was a wooden frame that they would use to join two animals together.
Yeah.
Like when they have the donkey carts and things like that, or the mule cart to plow the land.
Uh-huh.
They use the oxen to plow the land. They yoke them together, so one wouldn't walk fast and the other one walk slow.
Oh.
But the meaning is profound here, because what Jesus is telling us, he don't want us to carry our burdens alone. Plow it to him. Tie it to him. Throw your burdens on him. And he'll bear it for us. And it's very important because, sometimes people talk about the way. And there's this way and that way and all sorts of way to get to the Father. But there's only one way, and that way is to Jesus Christ. And that's why he says, come to the narrow way. Because the narrow way is not a road per se. The narrow way is him. He says, I am the way. So when he talks about the broad way, people talk about all kind of different things they can do to lead them to eternal life. Or to lead them to God, or however they want to put it. But that one way is through Jesus Christ. And so, CJ, I just want to put out to everyone, I know there's a lot of new age kind of theories nowadays, and sometimes you hear people just mock God openly and make all kind of fun. And even sometimes I laugh at it because, okay, you have to have a sense of humor to live in this world.
Oh, that's true, of course.
But I would want to just say to people, kneel before God, repent, turn from your evil ways, because one day, every knee going to bow, every tongue going to confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. But if we wait until that day when everybody's forced to do so, it might be too late. So do it now voluntarily. And that's just my simple message to everyone,
Beautiful, I like that.
Cast your burdens on God.
For he cared for you.
Yes, man.
Cast your
burdens on
the Lord, for he cared for you. Something
he
like
cared
that.
for you, yes.
All right, that's what I'm
it.
talking
That's
about.
it.
I remember my days, man.
You remember the days on Pathfinders and stuff?
Oh, yes, I remember my Pathfinder days, man. What goes in, and back in those days when we used to get our Bible verses and stuff and what's not, and I used to preach. I preached about the same tower, the statue, the same one that is down Clarksville there. I preached about that as well, and I had 7 people coming up and,
I tell you need to come back and preach.
When I had the altar call.
but don't preach about Kavi and Leah.
They're more out in the open, So
Yeah.
yeah, but it's fun.
Yeah, it is.
I would say that church has a way of, well, I can't say inflicting, but it has a way of addressing the disciplined state of mind. It teaches you how to respond and how to respond without being aggressive. It teaches you how to respond without being upset. How to navigate through life in a calm posture. Let me put it like that. That's what I've gathered from going to some of the I've been to almost all the churches. The last one I went to, the pastor was up there saying the devil is in the house, and I realized that he was watching me. And I decided I wasn't going back after that encounter. I said, we keep saying the devil is in the house and he watching me, only to find out that the young lady who invited me to the church, she and I were good friends. It was her father who was the pastor. So that's a whole different story there altogether. All right. Anyway, Doc, as you realize that the white pages, I'm not sure if you've had an opportunity to read the white pages that was sent out by the government.
I haven't had a chance yet.
Present administration.
I heard a little bit on it. I will try my best to take a read when I get a chance.
All right. I've been asked questions time and time
and you're talking about specifically about the
third world,
the third
countries.
third party or third country immigrants, that kind of thing.
Right.
Okay, good.
Now I'm gonna get the Honorable E.P. Chet Green as well to also come on and discuss it, as seen that he's the Foreign Affairs Minister. But the question was asked as to, of all the other countries in the entire world, why the Caribbean? Of all the other countries in the world, why put that on the Caribbean? And with us deciding that we want to ensure that whoever comes through first of all, if we do decide to take it, we take it, and it will be on our terms. And if anyone comes through our gates, that we must have solid knowledge of that individual or individuals. Everybody, their intentions are the land of opportunity. They're going to the United States, no matter what. Now, I'm going to ask you, the third world countries, or those immigrants, are there have a fear of going back to their original country because of the fact that they may face imminent death or danger where the family is concerned, or are they just immigrants who are being deported from the United States?
CJ, those are good questions. And the first thing we have to think about, and going back to your original question, why the Caribbean? And I want to propose to you, CJ, the Caribbean has have a long history of not being coordinated when it comes to external affairs or affairs that are external to us. And I think that's something that we have to be mindful of, so that I just believe that as part of the picking on the Caribbean, so to speak, is that Rubio and Trump and the others think, and maybe rightly so, that they can get their way because of our lack of unity. But the first thing that we should have done with this whole thing, CJ, is that we should have had a united front. That's the first thing. It should not be, even if the State Department might have written Antigua unilaterally, even if they might have written to St. Kitts and Nevis and the other countries unilaterally, we then should make sure that we have a united position. Mm-hmm. Now, each country can tweak their position, but there should be a general, broad, united position. Because of one of the things that's going to happen, as soon as one country decides to accept whatever United States is sending and openly accepts that, then it kind of spoils it for the rest of us, or spoils it for everyone else, because, again, you're going to start finding that United States now can say, okay, no more visa for you if you're not going to accept this, because St. Vincent accepting and why you can't, or Trinidad accepting and why can't you, and then the visa become an issue, and then the people in, let's say, Antigua, because their visa is being messed up now, or their visa access, they're going to say, oh, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? And it can get very confusing from there. So the first thing, I think there should have been a united Caribbean stance. Secondly, CJ, I think that we should be mindful of two things. Number one, we have people living in many different countries in the world.
Uh-huh.
And especially United States and Britain to some extent, maybe even France and things like that. But we have a lot of people, let's say, from Antigua. Antigua's population probably would be twice as much. I think I can say that fairly.
If all Antiguans come home?
If all Antiguans are back home, okay? And that's even without adding the people from, let's say, Dominica and other places that live here.
Do you know that the Spanish community may have an edge over indigenous Antiguans?
I don't think they're there yet, but it's probably close.
Yeah.
But having said that, to CJ, we have to be mindful that we have people in other countries. However, the other question we have to ask ourselves, is that request reasonable? Because I don't think United States needs the Caribbean to be taking nationals, whether it be people, immigrants from other countries who come to the United States. I don't think the United States need the Caribbean to be taking those people.
Right.
United States have an economy of over $30 trillion.
Right.
Okay? CG, you and I can't even fathom that kind of money. Okay? Antigua's, what economy is what? 4 billion maybe? And maybe that's CC, I don't know.
Yeah.
And anyway, however you shake it, it's not anything close to United States.
Right.
Okay? It's what somebody can go in their back pocket. Donald Trump made what? Since he became president this second time, he already made $2 billion.
Yeah.
Just putting that into perspective. That's about half of Antigua economy. All right, right there. Okay? So I'm just saying that to say this. We don't, United States don't need the Caribbean to be taken. Foreign nationals that come to the United States, they don't need us to be taking them. It's a part of whatever agenda they have. It's a part of their agenda. Maybe they wanted to see who is going to be nice to them, who's going to be acceding to them, who's going to play the games that they want to play.
You know the U.S. don't do things without an ulterior
Exactly.
motive.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying then. We should have, a united approach, because it's hard for any one country in the Caribbean. It's hard for all of us, much as for one of us, to try to negotiate anything with the United States, because we know United States sometimes, quite often, do not negotiate in good faith. We saw what's happening in terms of Iran. They in talks with Iran, next thing it's our dropping bombs. I'm not talking about just now, I'm talking about even before this last war started. They were in talks with them before they started the war. They start bomb the people that was last year.
Yeah.
And this year now is a similar thing again. They in talks today, and next thing they're bombing you tomorrow. So you cannot trust the United States to be, as they say, a country of their word, so to speak. So I'm saying we have to have a united approach. Now, without the united approach, now, is the request reasonable? No. Again, I don't think it is from the inception.
Even before, if the request is reasonable, I want to know the reason why such a request was made in the first place.
Well, like I said, they are doing it in a sense, and this is just my humble opinion. They're doing it in order to, because taking 15 immigrants or even 125 immigrants are going to make a big difference to the United States. Okay? Even if you multiply that by 10, so it's 1,000.
It's still not
not going to make a huge difference. Yeah. Okay? And we know now, for example, you have, for example, a gentleman from Guyana who was a teacher, the head of a whole school district. I think he was in Ohio or somewhere in the States. Even people like him, you know, who's not, quote unquote, legal in the United States, they're deporting people like those or locking up people like those. So, in a sense, it might be hurting the United States as well, hurting the economy. We know the farm belt in the South is depleted now.
Yes.
If you go to places like Mississippi and Arkansas and those places that used to be the breadbasket of the United States, all the farms are just there with the corn and everything just rotting and just dry and whatever. So what they're doing is hurting them, but whatever motive Trump has, whatever fulfillment he given to the Republican or to the Republican view, and we're seeing over the world, CJ, it's not just United States, we're seeing in Western Europe especially, United States, even Canada, places like Argentina, we're seeing a more and more every day a white right-wing view where, you know, anti-immigrant kind of view, okay?
Not to cut you off there, but I just wanted to address what Kevin just said here. He says Iran is an Islamic nation that has a lot of terrorism ideology within it, Doctor. Now, Okay,
let me answer that quickly, CJ.
Yeah.
Okay? People have to understand the history of Iran and history of the whole place before we just jump up and make a statement like that.
Exactly.
In the first place, when, I'm going to go far back, when Israel was conquered by Babylonia, okay? The king Nebuchadnezzar. CJ knows the story.
Yes,
Three Hebrew boys and the same image we spoke about a while ago.
Right.
It was the Persian king, okay? A Persian king, Iran, a Persian king of what is modern day Iran, who allowed the children of Israel to go back home after the 70 years, okay? And also got gold from the Iranian treasury to help build back the walls of Jerusalem.
Yes.
Okay? For those of us who are Christians, it was the Persian the wise men from the east were Persian, again, that traveled to Jerusalem to ask where is he who's born king of the Jews. They went down to Bethlehem. The angel told them, don't go back to Jerusalem to tell King Herod where Jesus Christ is. So again, if you're a Christian, realize that if you're Israeli, they're the one who restored the Israeli nation. Okay? If you're Christian, they're the one who safeguarded Jesus Christ. Okay? And then his father took him to Egypt, another Muslim country. Well, what is today another Muslim country. Iran, to make long and short of it, Iran has not necessarily been in its history a country that, although yes, it was a conquering empire back then, it has never been a country to just go and destroy. If it's one thing about the Persian Empire, wherever they went, they built up.
Right.
So they didn't go and destroy your culture. They built up your culture and allow you, as a part of their empire, to increase your culture.
Right.
Now, going back to more modern times, the reason why Iran would have said anything against Israel is because of what happened in terms of
with the Gaza Strip,
and Palestine, not even Gaza, because it wasn't Gaza, it was Palestine, where Israel, after the Balfour Declaration and these kind of things, Zionists, you know, in Britain and United States that pushed the Israelis in there, and how they treated the Palestinian people. Some, a lot of them were Muslims, or some were not even Muslims, some were even Christians, okay? Some were even, quote-unquote, Jewish in a sense, and that's a long story, but we can get to that. The way they just kick these people out of their homes, burn these people's homes, okay? Destroy the vegetation, okay? And if for somebody want to learn, there's a lovely documentary on Al Jazeera that talks all about this, okay? I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. And it's not only them, this be documented. Then, to move a little further, CJ, before the Ayatollah took over, in fact, even before the Ayatollah, before the Shah, Iran was a democratic country.
All right.
Iran was well run. When they decide to nationalize their assets, the petroleum assets, okay, this is where the United States came in and started to give the people them problems because, as you know, they have to control oil everywhere oil is.
Yes.
They put in the Shah, who terrorized the people. That's why the Ayatollah had a popular revolution in 1979. It didn't turn out maybe the way some people wanted it to, but the fact about it, there's a history why it happened. And Iran only threatened Israel because of what Israel is doing to the the Palestinians. Iran didn't jump up and say, oh, no Jew should live, we're going to destroy all the Jews. There's a reason behind everything. CJ, imagine that I live in my house, and you big and bad, and you come in, kick me out my house, okay, rape my wife, okay, kill my picnic and them, okay, and I'm still alive. Or I see you do that, and my brother sees you do that, and he decides, boy, CJ gonna have to pay for that.
Yeah.
Can you blame my brother for that?
Duh.
Exactly. So let's be real, people. Let's be honest. Again, I'm not agreeing with everything what Iran does. I'm not saying that Iran has not have quote-unquote terrorist actions like some might want to say.
You would never,
But
you would never agree with everything that they do. Because
Exactly.
even in the Western
Exactly.
world,
So-
they're
so-
doing a lot of things that the other countries are not. They're not. They disassociate themselves with the Westerners
Exactly.
when it comes to certain.
So
things.
the question I'm asking you, what is terrorism? What light are you seeing terrorism? If you're a slave and the master have you beat and whip every day, and one day you decide to burn down his house, is that terrorism? You're burning down the master house so you can get your freedom. And so going back to, so again,
You
there's
know,
a
the
lot.
United States does a lot, and only when you start to retaliate, they make it appear as though, hey, you know, we're a peaceful nation, we've never done anything, and all of a sudden you just came and blew up a building, look at what you've done, and, you know, they start crying wolf and start crying foul.
Let me tell you something, CJ. I have been to the United States at least 7, 8 times maybe. And some of the best people you're going to meet are people from the United States. And some of the people sing and talk, I do not hate United States. Okay? I do not hate United States. But I cannot support a lot of the things they have done.
The policies.
Especially the policies towards the Caribbean.
Uh-huh.
You had Cuba fighting for its independence in the 1860s and again in the 1890s against Spain. When Cuba was fighting for its independence, the United States went in, blew up a ship in Havana Harbor, blew up their own ship, SSS St. Mary's, I think the name of the ship, the name of the ship, so they could get into the war.
Yes.
And when they got into the war, they took over Cuba. There are people like Fulgencio Batista, who was the one just before Fidel Castro. Before that, they had Machado. Okay, these are people who subjugated the Cuban people, and because they had a Western stance, capitalist Western stance, United States propped them up. When Fidel Castro came now and liberated the Cuban people, you know, you had a case where Cuba had some of the biggest animal farms in the whole Caribbean, meat production farm, like the beef and that kind of thing. And 95% of the Cuban people did not eat meat, okay? Maybe less than 15% of the Cuban people drank milk every day because these were just being processed and sent to the United States, okay? And that is what Fidel Castro changed. So then you went in now, when Castro changed that, now he called Castro terrorist, he called Castro this, called Castro that, put an embargo on him, then you want to laugh and say, oh, Cuba don't know how to run a country, the Communist Party don't know how to run a country because look how they have no electricity. But imagine that embargo on any other Caribbean country.
It would have the same or worse effect.
If that was Antigua, we wouldn't even hear the word Antigua nowadays.
Exactly.
Okay?
What good is the embargo doing to the United States? What is it doing?
It's not doing anything good for them because their businessmen are losing business too.
Thank you.
There are many American businessmen, when Obama opened up trade to Cuba, many American businessmen were glad for the opportunity. But of course, we know Trump in his first presidency shut that down. So he's not.
I know Biden did pardon some sections of the embargo.
Well,
for a little bit freer.
Well, what had
trade
happened,
between
there
the
was
countries.
what they call the same thing while they want Fidel Castro, Raul Castro. They want to persecute Raul Castro. This group brought us to the rescue. It's an American, again, right-wing group, an anti-Cuban group. And what they do, some of it are Cuban Americans, and what they do, they sometimes perform terrorist attacks against Cuba. It is believed that they were behind, or somebody associated with that group, Corellis, I think the name was, who was behind the bombing of the Cuban plane, Cuban airline, that was transporting Guyanese students in the main via Barbados to Cuba. They blew up the plane in Barbados. They call it the Martin in Barbados, Martyrs de Barbados, something like that. Okay, when they blew up the plane and killed so many Guyanese students and Cuban nationals as well. Okay, now this man has had, I don't know if he's still alive, but if he is, he had sanctuary in the United States. Okay, and that brought us to the rescue. What they were doing, they were dropping pamphlets in Cuba.
Yes.
Anti-Cuban rhetoric.
Yes, I remember that.
They were warned. Okay, they were warned before Raul Castro, who was the head of the armed forces, knocked them out the sky.
Put them out the sky,
okay?
yeah. I remember
but they were warned.
Yes.
And I want to know, CJ, if a plane, let's say from Antigua, flies over the United States, dropping anti-United States propaganda.
It wouldn't even reach that
and
far.
it wouldn't even reach so far. So let's not even go down the road there. Okay? So I'm just saying you can't claim that you're right because you just have the might.
Yeah.
And if you claim might is right, well, let's say that's what you're doing. But don't claim things on moral grounds. And that's the thing I always say, CJ. The West love to talk about the morality of things. Oh, Fidel Castro is evil man, and this is evil, and that is evil, and Gaddafi is evil, and all these people are evil. And we're just standing for truth, for justice, and the American way. And, you know, and we know all that is bull. Because if they so want to stand for morality and whatever, why is it that they haven't, where are the reparation funds?
Exactly.
Okay? Why is it that we have to apologize to what you do for Haiti? Not only Europe, France especially, but what the United States as well too, Germany and other countries, Britain and other countries have done to Haiti. Because if we think the Cuban embargo was or is horrible, and it is, maybe the embargo against Haiti after Haiti fought for independence was one of the most complete and devastating in the whole of history, where the four main powers, the five main powers in the world at that time, all, you know, came out against Haiti. I'm talking about Spain, well, France first, Spain, United States, and Britain, okay? And there's another one, maybe Portugal. All of them came out against Haiti. So that embargo was very complete. It was devastating. That's why Haiti never really recovered after all those monies had to pay back to France, those gold bullions had to pay back to France. So, CJ, coming back to our times now, in terms of what's happening now, we can clearly say the United States have an agenda. Okay? They have an agenda. Let's
you could clearly see it, yeah.
Now, where we have to approach now, we have to approach from a united front. Okay, a united front. I'm talking about in Antigua now. Yeah. Since the Caribbean ship seems to be sailing, I don't know if it has fully sailed, but since it seems to be sailing, in Antigua we have, as Antiguans and Barbudans, opposition and government alike. Okay, government side alike. Now here, Trevor Walker telling, the Honorable Trevor Walker saying to the Honorable Gaston Brown, oh, you're not on a card, you're not on a card. So, is Gaston Brown country?
No, it's not.
Or we don't have any cards. Okay? Or whatever cards we have, we play all cards.
Obviously, we have to play our cards.
Because it can't be you as a member of the government of Antigua and Barbuda, where Trevor Walker is. Yeah. Yes, he's in opposition, but he's a member of the governance system of Antigua and Barbuda.
Yes, he is.
He's part of the loyal opposition, or royal opposition, however they put it, okay, in Parliament. So when he's telling Mr. Brown, oh, you have no cards.
He's referring to him as well.
He's referring to the Antigua and Barbuda.
Yeah.
It's not Gaston Brown have no cards, or the ABLP don't have any cards. It's Antigua and Barbuda. And I'm saying we have to put, and this is one of the problems we have, CJ. I've mentioned it time and time before, even with the CIP, CJ. When Ralph Gonsalves say those kind of things that he was saying public regarding the CIP, when the Europeans hear him, the Americans hear him, the Canadians hear him, and then they put pressure on other Caribbean countries because of what he's saying about his Caribbean brothers. Okay? When all opposition leaders, because the CIP is only bad when you're in opposition. When I'm in power, the CIP is the greatest thing since popcorn. When I'm in opposition now, it becomes something evil. The Americans are listening. The French are listening.
That is true.
Okay, the European Union is listening. And we have to be mindful that we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, and maybe even worse, shoot ourselves in the behind, not to use any
but you know, our
prohibited
CIP,
word on here.
Our CIP due diligence surpasses any. It has even surpassed the European
Look here.
and the American due diligence when it comes to processing.
Look here. Henley and Company, or the Henley Group, whatever they call themselves, have always give the Caribbean countries high marks for the due diligence that they do. High marks, CJ. Where the Caribbean countries tend to falter a little bit with their CIP is the price that they pay for the price that you have to pay when they go down to like 100,000 and 200,000 and those kind of numbers.
I think it's 250,000
because
now.
Malta had theirs, and the European actually cut off Malta, and I keep saying again, yes, Malta is a EU country, so having a Maltese passport is like having an EU passport.
Yeah.
Having an Antiguan passport is not an EU passport. So even if we have visa-free access to Europe, when I take my Antiguan passport and go to France or wherever, if the French don't want me in their country, they can say, hey, at that stage you can stop me from entering.
Yes.
But it's their country.
Exactly.
Okay? But a Maltese now, that's different.
It's a courtesy they're giving you.
Exactly. That's part of the EU.
Yeah.
So the point I'm saying, CJ, in my humble opinion, this whole thing with the CIP, it's about economic control, CJ.
I believe you.
When we had, when Lester Bird started the internet gaming in Antigua and Barbuda, Antigua was the first country that had a national, international online internet gaming system.
Yep.
Okay? Started by Lester Bird. Okay? At one point in time, and the people who do economics and I think Miss Williams might be here. She knows the economics. At one point in time, that was even rivaling tourism in terms of what it worked to Antigua and Barbuda.
Yeah.
The economic value. Obviously, a small country like Antigua and Barbuda,
generating
punching
its
weight, or punching above its weight, it's gonna attract the attention of the great United States.
Yes, it did.
Because what they want to do, as usual, is to divide and conquer.
Yep.
Okay, put you in your place. Hey, you're like a black man from a black country. Why I want to talk about international gaming for? Okay, and we won the case several times. All the different iterations, we won them in the WTO, in the World Trade Organization, and never get one red cent.
Up until now.
Until now.
Yeah.
Now, the first case that was actually won, if my memory serves me right, that was actually won in the WTO was the United States when they took the banana. The banana industry of the Windward Islands.
Give it to Chiquita?
And not necessarily give it to Chiquita, but what happened, countries like the Windward Islands and some countries in Africa under the Lomé Convention, Lomé is in Togo, but you know they were all part of the British Commonwealth and former colonies of Britain, France, and these kind of things. So we have preferential rates in terms of we could sell our bananas in Europe, okay? Because you know in the Caribbean it's not slave labor growing bananas, like in some of these other countries, like what America does in Costa Rica and stuff.
In Brazil and
okay, in those places. So we were able to sell our bananas at a little higher rate and preferentially in Europe, okay? United States challenged it on the WTO, and they won. And the little, maybe 2-3% that St. Vincent and Dominica and Grenada and so control in the whole world was wiped out.
Yep.
Remember, we still was less than maybe 5% of the whole banana industry.
That's true.
Okay? And the little niche that we had, they wiped it out. Now, without we won against them, they decide, hey, I'm the big bad wolf. You're the small little pig. And a little pig can never be small. Well, little small. So they tell you, hey, you have no say in this. We do what we want. You can WTO can say and tell you what they want, but we do what we feel like.
Yeah. Now back to the. Just have a couple of minutes remaining. Back to the initial question, and I'm glad that you said all of that where you ended up where I'm the big bad wolf. Now, no matter what. No matter what we may bring to a table to justify the reason as to why we would want not only a thorough breakdown of the individual or individuals who, if we do decide that we are going to take them, the third world countries, do you think that we are at the good end of the stick in terms of these individuals coming over? Because at the end of the day, the United States will get what they want no matter who you are, no matter what you do.
Yeah, and you know, take note for the United States, drop a bomb Antigua. You know, take note for them. Let's forget about this notion, CJ, that somehow we're safe. Okay? because we're so close to the United States and United States might protect us against Russia or China. No, forget that. Forget that. We saw what happened in the Caribbean recently when they start bombing those so-called drug boats.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, some of the same so-called drug boats were fishermen.
Just
okay?
fishermen going out to fish and come
Let's
back.
not fool ourselves. They can drop a bomb on Antigua any time and say, oops. They don't have to say sorry. who doesn't say sorry to? Not to dead people.
108,000 square miles.
Exactly.
80-something thousand people.
So the point I'm trying to make, CJ, yes, we have to negotiate. We can't just ignore it. But let's put the terms that we want out there. If it's 15 people or no more, it's 15 people or no more. Okay? You don't compromise on the number. If you say there's no criminals, nobody that have a criminal record except it's an immigration record, because for immigration they can say you're criminal if you overstay, welcome, yeah.
I don't trust you.
But, and again, you have to know, and if you find out other things later, you should be able to send them back. Okay? If United States hold back information. But I suspect something, CJ, and this is why I say, look here, let's look at this from a level-headed point of view and take some of the emotions out of it. I've known people when Trump became the president the first time in the United States who left United States and came to Antigua.
Oh, yeah?
People from other Caribbean countries, people from even outside the region, they came to Antigua. And some of these people today, CJ, are making a wonderful contribution to Antigua.
Okay.
They have some skills and knowledge that maybe a lot of us may not have in certain areas, and they have come to Antigua. I don't want to call their name. I can call names, because I know them personally, but I'm not going to call their names because I didn't have permission to do that. But I'm telling you, CJ, we have people who left United States after 2016 when Trump became president, and are making a wonderful contribution in Antigua right now. So if there are people who have certain skills in whatever field of endeavor who we can benefit from,
so they come in with a skill set?
If they are, that I'm saying that's what we have to aim for.
Right.
Okay? Even if they're not, we have to make sure then the person not of a criminal background, a criminal character.
Right.
And the other thing I would say as well too, make sure that when these people come, they're not coming empty-handed. If United States want us to take Omari because Omari overstayed visa,
they're sending money with Omari for us?
send 100,000 with Omari and then we
And
talk.
is this going to be every year so that he can self-sustain?
Even if it's not every year, at least a one-time $100,000 US. I can make it stretch. I can find some way to make Omari viable when he comes back. Okay? But you can't be sending them empty-handed.
Exactly.
Okay?
Now, when they do come down...
Or we have issues in Antigua that we think that United States can help us solve. How about building a dam or water system so we don't have problem with water in drought?
Yeah.
Or how about, 100 miles of road?
Yeah.
Okay? Or whatever it is. It can't be that they're getting the benefits of getting these people out of their country because they don't want to deal with them, and we're going to have the burden of taking care of them with nothing.
All right.
Okay?
Right.
Again, and you see, CJ, this is what I said about this last week. When these people tell me things on morality grounds or whatever, I hogwash it, and this is the reason I'm going to hogwash it. Now, let's say Europe going to want to take visa access for countries like Antigua, St. Lucia, Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, because of the CIP. I ask the question, CJ. You then have United States want to send 125 people to Antigua alone. Okay? Let's say Antigua does accept these people. Would Europe feel comfortable accepting 125 people?
Nope.
But you don't hear Europe say anything about that. You don't hear Europe say, or tell the Antigua government, you should not accept the 125 people from the United States, and we're going to put, or we're going to take your visa put on visa restrictions.
That's right.
But they'll tell you about your CIP. Because maybe if there's 125 people, it's not much we have to gain from that. We in Antigua have to gain economically.
Right.
But we gain something from the CIP.
Exactly.
And CJ, I'm going to go back all the time. The CIP issues that the world is having with the Caribbean countries and the other countries that have a CIP program, it's not about no security. It's not about security. I'm going to put my neck on the line, CJ. It's not about security. Or if it's about security, it's a very small issue about security.
Not even small, because remember when they requested us to do some changes to the policies that we had in place, we made sure we did that and more. So there was nothing that they could have gone back and looked through and say, there's an underlying this here, there's something there. What's not? Everything that we did, our due diligence when it comes to vetting anyone who were desirous of obtaining a CIP passport in that form, we would have gone through some strenuous questions and answers to be had before anything. I mean, we vetted them from their country first, and after their okay, let's say we have someone coming from Africa, to be exact, Lagos. We would vet from Lagos. Lagos is in which country?
Nigeria.
Then we went out of that circle and vet in Nigeria pertaining to the person, the official name, if they have an alias, if they have any other name. We did that. Out of that now, we went to the African...
West Africa in general.
Intercoms or what have you. And we did that vetting again. Out of that, we also have to go to the United States and also the EU to vet to see if that person is of any interest in any way, shape, or form. So there's no way that they could not have said that we did not have protocols put in place to ensure that the person or persons, even if they have an American, Antigua and Barbuda passport, are given privilege to fly to certain places. Remember, the people that are coming here that are requesting the CIP for investment programs are filthy rich people.
Lot of them.
You think that they want to be terrorists? You think that they're living this lifestyle to come to Antigua, get a passport, and go up to Canada and blow up themselves in an aircraft or something?
Exactly. They would need an Antigua passport for that.
Exactly.
But CJ, you know police intelligence. You understand police intelligence. You think that anything that we are going to find out about anyone that the United States intelligence and the British intelligence and the French intelligence are going to know? So even if somebody might bypass Antigua, you think you're not going to put up a red flag somewhere in Europe?
Pull up somewhere else, Interpol, somewhere.
Now you have the case of, and I can say it because it's out there, Chotsky or whatever, the man from India. But when he left India, he was not a wanted man in India at the time when he left.
Exactly. The same thing I keep telling people.
There was not an arrest warrant out on him when he left India.
No.
The Antigua government would have checked with the Indian government.
And we did due diligence.
And due diligence was done on him.
There was nothing that come back to state, nothing.
It's after he was in Antigua that
India when they started this
set out the red flag.
Exactly.
So that Antigua cannot be blamed for that. And even so, what have Chotsky done to Antigua? maybe he ran from India. But again, he wasn't under arrest when he came from India. No, so he can't even say he ran from India. But he didn't do no harm to Antigua.
No, he didn't.
He didn't do any harm to Antigua or any harm to a third country outside of Antigua. So the point I'm trying to make with this, CJ, the whole kind of red herring that they're trying to throw, again, is part of the divide and conquer. I don't think that Western Europe, nor United States, and for the matter of fact, even Canada, has any much interest in these countries developing, okay? Or not to the extent where we can show some level of economic independence. They want us to be always dependent on them. And when we're always dependent on them, then they can come and decide, hey, I want you all to take 125 people this year so I can show it on them, and then we say yes.
Yep.
They don't want us in a position to negotiate anything, okay? And the more economic development we have, the less they can toss us about, as small as we are. And this is where it comes down to. And that's why I'm going to say, CJ, as the Caribbean, we must get united. There needs to be, and I know our time is fast approaching, so I'm going to say this quickly, CJ.
When you're having fun.
We need to have some sort of federation of Caribbean states, a real federation of Caribbean states. And I'm not talking about just CARICOM. That ship has sailed a long time. I'm talking about including countries like Suriname, Venezuela, Costa Rica, Panama, Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic. If the French islands want to join, fine and well. Those are any country that's not, let's say, part of a European country, and if they want independence, so they can join that federation. Because we need the numbers and we need the strength in numbers.
The United States of the Caribbean.
I prefer to call it Federation of Caribbean States.
I knew you had a problem with
that. But no problem. And I already have my flag, you know. I already have a flag for it.
You don't have it?
And I have a tricolor flag for it and the meaning for it. Next time I come, I'll bring the flag.
Make sure you bring it next time.
Okay.
All right.
Because I think we have to move there, CJ, because we are a small fish in a huge lake,
Yep.
a huge ocean, and they just gobble us up when we go to this United Nations meeting.
That's true.
Even as a Federation Caribbean state, we're still going to be small compared to them, but we are bigger.
That's
and when we're
right.
bigger, now we have a little more clout.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Doc, thank you very much. This is why I love Thursdays, especially when Doc come up and we engage in these type of conversations here. I love that. I want to thank you very much, Dr. Simon, for coming up and just educating us as well, and also informing us pertaining to our discussions that we have here every Thursday. Unfortunately, you did not walk with my wife and my girlfriend, but that's all right.
She has exam today.
Oh, she has exam?
Yeah, that
well,
exam.
I wish her all the best. When you do go down, tell her.
And there has a little issue with the internet, so I had to stay there to make sure everything was okay. Then
Then they pop up. All right, so next week, Cosplay Live, who knows? You probably will bring them up next week. No, next week is Thursday. Is in the Heart of Carnival.
Are we on next Thursday?
Yeah, we should be on next
Okay.
week. Well, I'll let you know for sure.
So if we're on, we'll definitely bring the crew.
Yeah, definitely.
And we'll hear some Nigerian and Ghanaian songs.
Oh,
as well.
yes. And that's what she sings to me when she's putting me to bed. Anyway, that's a whole different story there altogether. All right, Doc. Thank you very much. Appreciate
care,
it.
brother.
Have yourselves a great one. And guys, remember, no weapon that formed against you shall ever prosper. Have a great day. Have a fantabulous time doing it. And remember, pay it forward. Help somebody somewhere sometime. It doesn't have to be somebody that you know. There might be someone who's going through something that you don't even know what they're going through, and it's not your business. But something just tell you, give this person a $5, give this person a $20, give this person $1, or something of the sort. Give this person some food, give them a drink, something. Make that person day become possible today. All right? Until, and don't forget, starting the 6th of August would be my Love After Dark show. Love After Dark. That's where we talk about sex, we talk about relationship, we talk about love, we talk about emotions.
It's about STDs.
Yeah, all of that too. Listen, Doc, I always have to make sure you
Oh
bring
my,
the
sorry,
reality.
sorry, CJ, sorry to kill
Make
your
sure
show.
you bring the reality in there for me.
Sorry to
boy.
kill your show before you start.
All right, guys. Until then, but have yourselves a great one. My online classroom, good morning, thanks again. My question is why it's a problem that the people can't go back to where they are originally from. Everyone comes from somewhere seriously.
That's true.
That is true.
Maybe you should
And
talk about that next time too.
that we will talk. That's one of the reasons why I'm asking. But I was made to understand that some of them ran for political reasons. That if they stayed in their country,
CJ, most
they
of the time,
would have been killed.
these are immigrants, are economic immigrants.
Yeah.
Most of the times, they're economic immigrants. Most of the times. People go where they think that a better life is there for them.
Yes.
Okay? So, but we can talk about that.
We'll
next
talk
time.
about that next time. Guys, until then, you've been listening to The Buzz 268 right here on WTP 93.5 FM. I've been your host, your humble host, CJ, the maestro of love. Just bringing you good vibes, good music, entertaining, educated, informing, and most of all, inspiring. Until next week, same time, same place, do have yourselves a great day and have a fantabulous time doing it. Up next is the man himself, Dave Vijay, is going to come and take you guys down until 1 in the afternoon. After that, Adrian, we have sports today? Every day. Well, yeah, the man doing things. So we have sports every single day. And soon from now, sports will also be in the news package.
Dr. Bejan, you're making sport.
You're making sport, boy? All right, have yourselves a great one, guys.
Those were the words for my professor during her lecture. She said, Rover, keep simple, then people will put you on a pinnacle. Rover, sing something new. Rover, is my advice to you.